Hello friends, welcome to the program. The topic selected for the program is Bhatia Battery Performance Test of Intelligence. The objectives set for the lecture are to understand about the various types of intelligence tests, to understand the Bhatia Battery Performance Test of Intelligence, to know about how to administer Bhatia Battery Test of Intelligence, and lastly, to calculate IQ from the Bhatia Battery Test of Intelligence. Dear students, intelligence being only a concept or an abstraction can't be measured in physical units like a length of cloth or temperature of body. Rather, we measure an individual's intelligence by means of what we call intelligence tests. The most commonly known intelligence tests falls into three categories, namely, first, individual tests, number second, group tests, and number third, performance tests of intelligence. Intelligence tests may also be classified as verbal tests and non-verbal tests. In verbal tests, the person is asked to read or write. In non-verbal tests, the person is required to perform some acts or to do some practical work. Bhatia Battery is one among the performance tests of intelligence. Performance tests of intelligence measure intelligence through some sort of performances of the individual. The performances are in the form of concrete activities that demand for the ability to see, relation and solve problems. For measuring intelligence of persons with language handicap arising out of deafness or speech defects or cultural variation, this type of tests are widely used. Obviously, this is a non-verbal test. Some of the other performance tests include the Pinter-Patterson Performance Scale, the Arthur Performance Scale, and Raven's Progressive Matrices, etc. Bhatia Battery Performance Test of Intelligence was constructed by C.M. Bhatia in 1955. This test was developed to test the intelligence of Indian population. The main objective of the test was to measure the intelligence of children and less educated or illiterate Indians. It includes 5 subtests, which are: first, course block design test. The test was developed in 1920 by psychologist Samuel C. Coe, a student of Lewis Terman. Coe described the 1920s version of the test as a series of 17 cards, which increases in complexity as the test progressed. Test takers replicated the designs with painted blocks. Each side was a single color or 2 colors divided by a diagonal line. The initial scores were based on completion time and number of moves. As early as 1930s, the course block test was administered at the OU School for the Deaf and at other schools with special needs students. The course block design test has been adapted into sections in several current IQ tests. The course test continues to be used in research extensively to measure executive functioning and learning consistent with the original design of the test. This has made the course block test useful for assessing the effects of aging, drug use, and in brain research among other areas. In particular, that the course is a relatively non-verbal test lends it to be used effectively in assessment of those with language issues and in multicultural research settings to reduce the impact of language on assessment or functioning. The Bhatia battery includes 10 designs from the original, 17 designs from the course test. The time for the first 5 designs is 2 minutes and for the remaining 5 the time is 3 minutes. The card with a variety of color designs are shown to the test taker and he is asked to reproduce them using a set of colored blocks. Performance is based not just on the accuracy of the drawings but also on the examiner's observation of behavior during the test, including such factors as attention level, self-criticism, and adaptive behavior such as self-help, communication, and social skills. The second test that has been included is Alexander Pass-Along test. It is one among the tests of Alexander's battery of performance designed in Edinburgh University by W. P. Alexander. All the designs of the original test are included in this battery and consist of small blocks of red and blue colored cubes placed in differing number in small shallow wooden trays, and the position of these cubes is to be reversed by moving them about but without lifting them from the trays. There are 9 such patterns printed on the cards and the subject is required to manipulate the cubes within the space of the wooden tray without lifting them so that their position is reversed. That is, if originally placed on one side indicating blue color, they have to be shifted to the opposite side indicated by red color. Individual performance is evaluated in terms of success in the task and the time taken. The first 4 of these have to be completed in 2 minutes and the rest of the 4 have to be completed in 3 minutes. Number 3rd test is the pattern drawing test. This test was constructed by Bhatia himself. There are 8 patterns of increasing difficulty from 1st to 8th. Every card has a pattern and the subject is required to draw these patterns in one go without lifting the pencil and without repeating the lines. The time for the first 4 cards in 2 minutes and for the rest of the 4 cards it is 3 minutes. Then next is the immediate memory test. This test was constructed by Bhatia himself. Immediate memory test has a close relation with mental development or general intelligence. It starts with 2 letters and then increases accordingly. Firstly, the investigator speaks out the word and then the subject. There are 3 alternative set of letters. If failure is recorded in the first set, try the second and the third alternative sets. If failure is recorded in all the 3 alternative sets, then the failure is recorded and we stop. This test has 2 parts, digit span forward and digit span backward. The test taker is required to repeat the numbers the examiner says. The number of digit is increased on every trial. The test is continued till the subject repeats it successfully in the same order. This is digit span forward. In the backward recall, the numbers are repeated in the reverse order, from the last to the first. This recall is also continued till the subject successfully repeats the sequence. Next test that has been included in Bhatia battery is the picture construction test. This test too was constructed by Bhatia himself. This is comparatively easy test. It has been purposefully put in to enable some inferior students to score appreciably. The test consists of 5 graded subtests. In these subtests, there are number of pieces and the subjects have to put the pieces together to form the picture. In other words, this test requires the subject to construct a picture that is given in parts. The parts are to be meaningfully combined to construct a picture. The time for first 2 pictures is 2 minutes and the rest of the 3 pictures it is 3-2 minutes. Administration and scoring of Bhatia battery test. Bhatia battery performance test can be administered by following certain steps. First, we need to score for each of the 5 subtests individually as first, the course block test. First 5 blocks, if completed in less than 1 minute, gives 2 marks. And if between 1 and 2 minutes gives 1 mark or else it scores 0. From block 6 to 10, if completed in less than 1 minute, gives 3 marks. Between 1 and 2 minutes gives 2 marks and between 2 and 3 minutes gives 1 mark. Failure means 0. Number 2 for Alexander's pass-along test. For first 4, if completed in less than 1 minute, gives 2 marks. Between 1 and 2 minutes, give 1 mark. For rest of the 4, if completed in less than 1 minute, gives 3 marks. Between 1 to 2 minutes, 2 marks and between 2 and 3 minutes, 1 mark and failure fetches 0. Number 3, in pattern drawing test. For first 4, if completed in less than 1 minute, 2 marks. Between 1 and 2 minutes gives 1 mark. For rest of the 4, if completed in less than 1 minute, gives 3 marks. 1 to 2 minutes gives 2 marks and between 2 and 3 minutes only 1 mark and failure fetches 0. Then next is about the picture construction test. For first to third test, if done in less than 1 minute, gives individual 2 marks. Between 1 and 2 minutes gives 1 mark. For fourth and fifth test, if done in less than 1 minute, gives individual 3 marks. 1 to 2 minutes gives 2 marks and between 2 and 3 minutes gives only 1 mark and failure gives 0. Then coming to immediate memory test. For each set of forward and reverse sequence, if there is at least one correct sequence, gives marks. Individual administration of this test takes less than 1 hour. Maximum 95 marks can be obtained in the complete test. Maximum marks for the first, second, third, fourth and fifth test are 25, 20, 20, 15 and 15 respectively. Once we get all the scores added together, that is one's raw score, then we need to compare this raw score to Bhatia's table, where we will get the IQ score again as the age of the individual and raw score. Earlier, the norms for the test were obtained for the boys of 11 and 16 years. Later, the norms of the girls were also obtained. Dear students, we may conclude that Bhatia battery is one among the performance tests of intelligence. Bhatia's battery performance test of intelligence was constructed by C.M. Bhatia in 1955. This test was developed to test the intelligence of Indian population. The main objective of the test is to measure the intelligence of children and less educated or illiterate Indians. It includes 5 subtests. They are Coase block design test, Alexander's pass-along test, pattern drawing test, immediate memory, and picture construction. That was all about Bhatia battery performance test of intelligence. I hope you understood the content. Thanks for watching.